if anybody wants to look back. Right, so 1 mark for setup and the work, and then 1 mark for the correct final answer with the units, of course. Next, you have another pair. Right, this side is across that one, so sine law. So you would get 1 mark for setting it up correctly, and then another mark for the correct final answer, where you need to show me the sine inverse. If this is missing, I would take off a note. I would call it notation mark deduction or something like that. I would like to see that. Okay, and we did that on the whiteboards, right? I kind of mentioned it there. So here, find the largest angle, right? And that would be across from the longest side, which I know it's not drawn to scale, right? So it's kind of silly, but it is 20 feet here. So angle M is for me right across the 20. That's the longest side. So this is the one, the number to watch for, right? That's what I would look for there, a minus 20. And when you, so for that part, for you getting this right, the whole setup, but and most importantly, that 20 being there, you would get 1 mark already. And then I would give you another mark for getting that negative there. And then for using inverse, cosine inverse, I know that in our notes, I probably turn it into a decimal. You don't have to, but this is acceptable. The decimal is acceptable. But that would give us an obtuse angle, right? So that's another mark. So 1 mark for setup, 1 mark for me you showing the negative at some point, because it's very important, and then 1 mark for the angle, including degrees. Are we good? If you miss the angle, if you miss the negative, you will get the supplement of that. You get 3659. Okay, it's either or. It finds either the obtuse angle or the acute, which is right next to it. They're right next to each other. So 8 marks for this page. And then the back side, we assumed everything is in kilometers. And if you sketch I would always highly recommend a sketch. And so then you realize, oh, this is the 2 sides with the angle wedged in between. So you're finding side E. So this is what I was looking for the setup. So 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. How's that? Okay. You showing the square root. That's kind of like showing the inverse, sine inverse. So 3 marks there. 71.6 is fine because it's not dollars, right? But I'm just so used to it. Okay. Because in grade 12 applied, like I marked the way the province trains us to mark. I marked like grade 11, grade 10, any grade I would mark the same way, so you get used to that. So when you sketch this, I want you to solve the triangle, and we realize that we have a pair, which means I have to use sine law. So I would just jump right to the end here. Maybe I should mention that given our current situation, yes, that's your starter pair. The only thing that you can do is solve for that angle at this point, this one across 7.6. So that's why I start with V. There's no other way of doing it. So that would be 2 marks there for that. And then angle T, right, that's the next one, just half a mark for that one right now. And so obviously if you got this wrong, this will be different. You wouldn't be losing marks again. I would be giving you half a mark for that step. And then next I use the same pair that I started with. I tend to do that. And then I use T, angle T, to find side T, which is this. which is 1.5, we'll say, because it's a little less work because you already done a sine law there. If you use cosine law, because you could have, right, once you find angle T in this corner, you have an SAS here in this corner. So if you did that, you still get 9.49. So regardless of how you did it, you get the same amount of marks. So that's out of 7 there. So 8 and 7, we are at 15 marks, right? Okay, okay, that's it. Get your book.